This is incredible. They don't know the basis of well, it's not really the original superhero. I mean, depends on your definition. There have been all mythical goddesses and gods. I think the first one was like, for the comic book thing, I think the first one might have been Shazam or the Phantom or something. But traditionally, conventionally, people remember it designates Superman as the first one. So I'm gonna say conventionally, not accurately, they put him. It's known as the first one, but that's a misnomer or a misapplication. I mean, this guy doesn't even know who Lex Luthor is. This guy seems to, he admits he doesn't know him. These people look to be about, could be 30 years old. When I was, how could you not know what Superman is? How can you freaking not know who Superman? Even my own brother, I don't know. I mean, for God, love God, it's Superman. My God, if people don't know such basic information, these 30-year-olds, I mean, yeah, they're babies. This guy looks to be 40. My God, how do I reach these people? How do you control? Yes, control. How do you control these people when you don't know their programming? I need to know how they tick so I can get into their brain, the real control of their actions. If I don't know how they think, it's like with the laptop. I had to rewire. No, not really rewire. I had to reconnect. I have to know the mapping. I had to know the mapping. These people have no mapping. Trump doesn't know food. Vance doesn't know how to order food. Trump doesn't know history. Vance doesn't know how to run. They don't know anything. They really don't know anything. How did they survive? How did these people survive? How did they really survive? It explains my parents. It explains so much. They don't know anything. I keep thinking back to that lady I met at the Best Buy or the Walmart. She surprised me. She knew what a tablet was. It's like a regular mother, young or kind of like, I guess maybe 30, 40 years old, 35. Surprised me. That one thing is throwing off my calibration. They really do know nothing. I have to be careful not to overcompensate now that I'm on the calibration of them not knowing anything. When they actually do something, they do know something. It's not that they don't know. They don't know. I simply default down to they don't know. I assume that. But I still ask. They don't know anything. Well, wow. Well, now that we know that they know nothing, well, it's going to be a lot easier to remember. Huh. So all the information I keep giving them about protecting their eyes and ears, they don't care. Maybe I should simply let them go blind. I can't do that. It's not me. But I have to use it as an advantage. They go blind. That gives me an advantage. It gives me an advantage. My concern with this is that, when you need their help, you need their assistance. They're weakened, but they don't listen anyway. Look at that. Look at what happened with Addison. I still have to do it so that I get, so I can use it as an excuse. So that's basic. That's overall what I'll do. I help them, so I have an excuse. So I don't feel guilty. Who knows? Maybe it'll reverse psychology. They actually will end up not protecting their eyes. Fine. Gives me an advantage in some ways. They really don't know. They really don't know. My God, they really don't know. They don't know. They don't know anything. Oh, my price has gone up. It's gone up infinite amount. Ooh, that sounds like that Lost in, spoiled like that Lost in Space movie. Yeah, if people are this dumb, then my worth is infinite. I'm literally worth infinite, priceless.
God, I thought he just popped up in Kansas, but if I'm not mistaken, Lex Luthor is the bald guy. He's bad, right? That's right. Okay, played originally by Gene Hackman, the late great Gene Hackman, in the original film with Christopher Reeve.
This guy really doesn't know. Look at that smile. My God.
So.
He's smiling. How old is this dude? I gotta see the comments. Oh my God, one comment. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, exactly. Indian, how do you spell pest? Israel. No suggestion. There we go. I think I'm beginning to understand why I say that. Gal Gadot can't sing. I don't know. I haven't watched the heard the full singing scene. Shit, she's hot, but there's Palestinian.
Why am I telling you this? I know you think this is just me wasting your time with a film review. No, I'm not. But listen to me. Listen closely to what I just said. The parents sent Superman to inhabit Earth, conquer it, take it over, and rule over it. Superman has been raised by his earthly parents in Kansas. And there's a scene where he goes to visit his earthly parents in Kansas, and he's all tortured and tormented.
Okay, I think I understand why these guys might love the movie, because it literally is a colonizing mindset.
Because this video has now been stitched together, Lex Luthor has shown the whole planet Superman's parents' original intentions, and this is twofold. I am going somewhere with this, and it actually dovetails with the current events of today, believe it or not. Lex Luthor has now taken this videotape.
I thought it was fake. I thought Lex faked it. And I thought that's what they showed, that they had faked it.
And he's disseminated it across the planet, and he's telling everybody on planet Earth that Superman is not, in fact, the hero you believe him to be. That, in fact, he's a really bad guy. He's been compromised, and he's here to take everybody over, Fast Eddie. Superman is not here to be a good guy, true justice the American way, and save planet, and save people from peril. He's actually here to take it over, and we have the videotape to prove it. Roll the tape. And so Luthor plays this tape of his original parents saying, go down there and conquer Earth. So everybody turns against him, Fast Eddie. Okay? The whole planet turns against him, and everybody hates Superman now, and now they're scared of him, and they think, holy crap, you lied to us. We thought you were this guy, and now we're being told you're this guy. We don't trust you. We don't believe in you. We think you're a bad guy. You're to rule over us. Everybody turns against him. And so the fate waits. Meanwhile, Superman goes home to his original parents, and his original parents effectively say, after some touchy feely stuff, you don't have to conquer the Earth. You could just be the good guy that you thought you were here to be. Like, just because your old dead parents and Krypton say take over the planet, you can just be a good guy and save people's lives. And say, yeah, I can just save people's lives. And so, what's my point? Twofold. Number one, remember James Gunn last week, everybody said, where?
I think a lot of people might have thought it was fake. It's a little real. Spoiler. So Superman really is a cuck. He's been cucked by his parents. Oh, Superman. Alright, Superman.
Nation of immigrants, Superman's an alien. He came here. What does Superman do? In that story that I just told you, what's the point? He was sent from a foreign planet to invade this place and take it over. And instead, what did he ultimately conclude to do with his American earthly parents? Fast Eddie, what did I just tell you? A story of assimilation. That's right, I was going to say that. I didn't want to use the word, but you're right, yes. He assimilated to the U.S. He has these extraordinary powers, and now he's going to use those powers for good. Not conquer or infiltrate or whatever. But the movie, Eddie, the movie was about an alien who assimilated. Now, I don't know if James Gunn wrote the damn thing and directed it, and then went out and made that statement last week. I don't know if he missed it. I don't know if he didn't understand his own plot line. The movie is literally about a guy who came from a different place, came here, and assimilated. Despite the government or the people or his parents or whatever from a different place that said go over there and kick their butts and rule over it, he said, no, these are good people, I'm here to take care of them and assimilate, be part of them. I love them. I love people. I'll assimilate. So that's one part of it. It's a story of assimilation. An alien who comes here.
Assimilation.
Here and assimilates. It's a wonderful story. And by the way, whoever the guy is that plays him, terrific. This is like very original in keeping with if you like the Christopher Reeve version of the first film, way back in the, what was that, 70s or whatever. You're going to love this guy. He's a fantastic actor. He does a great job. It's this kind of gee golly, aw shucks, all-American guy. You're going to love it. I promise. If you thought, well, I'm going to be disappointed, you won't be. And here's the other part. Lex Luthor. What did I tell you? Number one, he starts disseminating all this information to everyone who loved Superman, trying to convince him that he's a rotten guy and up to no good. All of a sudden, trying to get people to just turn on him and take a videotape that, had not been previously seen, including by Superman, and trying to convince the globe that he's not who he's always been. Despite everything that everyone had seen out of Superman, saving people's lives, saving things from crumbling and crashing, and people, old ladies being run over and all this stuff, every time, cats of trees and the whole thing. Despite a body of evidence that says Superman has done nothing but good and saved people's lives on planet Earth, Lex Luthor comes along and convinces planet Earth Superman's a bad guy. And he's created, and I'm going to try not to go down a rabbit hole and try to explain this plot because I don't want to overcomplicate it for the story. So oversimplifying this to say, Lex Luthor also divulges that he has this entire universe of monkeys, and it's kind of fitting that it's monkeys. It's a whole universe of monkeys on keyboards doing what? Not kidding, this is an actual reference in the film. Social media trolls. He has a whole farm of monkeys pounding away on keyboards doing what? Round the clock, trying to convince everyone on social media back on planet Earth that Superman's a rotten, mean, no good SOB. And does that sound remarkably similar to what we're living through right now? Somebody coming along and trying to convince you that Superman's not the guy we all thought he was, and has a whole army of bots and trolls trying to convince everybody on social media that Superman's not the guy they thought he was? It seems like a timely tale from Mr. Gunn, because yes, that's going to be ripped right out of the news today. I'm telling you, I watched that and I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I was watching. $217 million in ticket sales, and I don't know how many people were thinking about it as deeply as I was, but I assume if you are political and you were watching Superman as I was, you saw the parallels. There are a lot of people right now, and I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to say names. In fact, I pledged that I'm not going to drop names. I'm not going to get into personality slap fights here, but I'm just going to tell you right now, there are a lot of Lex Luthors in our midst, Fast Eddie. I don't know how else to put it. There are a lot of Lex Luthors in our midst. For whatever reason, whatever it is that motivates them, I don't know. But apparently they seem to think they've been elected president, not Donald Trump. Apparently they seem to think that because they shared a microphone with Donald Trump on rally stages or whatever, they now get to dictate and determine what Donald Trump does and his decisions that he makes, not Donald Trump. So that's my first parallel. And as such, they're now trying to convince everybody who's voted for Donald Trump and been excited about it that they shouldn't be, that he's now somehow some kind of turncoat. Is that about right? Yeah, unfortunately, especially after this weekend. Yep. Yeah. Is Donald Trump a turncoat? I mean, it's interesting yesterday that on this very week, tail end of last week, this weekend, that all this chatter about Donald Trump and the deep state and all this stuff, and he's caved and blah, 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 blah. Isn't it interesting on the same weekend as the weekend that we're all reminded we came within a millimeter of losing him entirely, and his head being blown off it? Is there some irony in that? It's shocking. It's like a full year that we're all reminded we came within a millimeter of losing him entirely, and his head being blown off it. Is there some irony in that? It's shocking. It's like a full year has passed, and I don't know why our side was spending as much time as they were. I'm just going to say it, trashing him over the weekend as we come up on an anniversary like that. It was just unreal. Yeah, and as for, Trump, he came out and, basically addressed this and said, I can't understand this. I don't know what this is about. I don't know where this comes from. I'll just read what he wrote. If for some reason you didn't see it on Truth Social, what's going on with my boys, and in some cases gals, They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it. All over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein, over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration, who conned the world with Russia, hoax 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from Helen Moore? They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me. Now, what do you think that means? I don't know. I'm asking. What do you think it means when he says they, meaning Obama, Brennan, Comey, that whole corrupt crew, that they created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton Steele dossier? Is he saying that it doesn't exist yet? Or is he saying they created the story to damage him? What do you think that means? I'm just asking for interpretation. I don't have an idea. Do you have a thought or no?
In the way Trump is saying it there, I believe that he's saying that maybe they did create the story that there was a file.
Because he goes on to say, I think you might be right, because he goes on to say, why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt me or the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? It's a wonderful question, right? I mean, that is the next logical question. For those of you that would say that this thing is chock-a-block full of things that would damage Trump and all kinds of Republicans, why in the world would the American left not use it? Would be a great next question, right?
Absolutely, and then that's honestly one of the things that's kind of been keeping me grounded through all this, is yes, if the left had a hold of that and Trump was implicated in any way, you better believe it. There'd be years of releases from them.
You know, also, for those that say this implicates Israel, that he's an Israeli spy.
That's easy because Biden, Ukraine, buying the presidents.
Do you know who hates Israel? Barack Obama. Barack Obama he's an Islamist, I'm convinced of it. Barack Obama thinks the Muslim call to prayer is the most beautiful sound he's ever heard in his life. He hates Benjamin Netanyahu. He's as disrespectful to Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel, as any president we've ever had. We had 12 years of Barack Obama, effectively, with the Husk and him. 12 years. So let me ask you something. Why would the Husk, with all of these radical anti-Semites around him, by the way, he's out now and saying, yeah, I used it. Sure, I'll use the auto pen. 30 seconds. He said, I could barely keep up with all the pardons and clemency somebody had to fill in for me for the auto pen. He's admitting that. But anyway, all these people are the same Obama foreign policy, they hate Israel. So if you've got a file full of a guy that's, got Trump caught up in child sex or it's Israeli-based, why in the world wouldn't Barack Obama, of all people, weaponize it against Donald Trump?
The Chris Ball Show podcast.
Good question. You have to hit reload in order for it to work. With the hotspot and stuff sometimes.
Now, I'm gonna make a video covering the James Gunn Superman movie. To discredit Superman, Ultraman down here. So
Something about the hotspot does it.
Premium like Turkish cotton, something like a rare gem, hard to find.
Yeah, that's definitely AI.
Moments like this don't come around often, beating me line by line. On edge when I'm nervous, under the surface, try not to show it, but you still know it. Sometimes on the surface, never on purpose, 'cause you don't deserve it. Treat me like it's worship. Getting to the point, I couldn't live without you. But it's real, so times I don't have to. BDA vibes on the feet, 'cause I'm proud to. Talk to my toxic traits, I didn't have to. Came and pulled me up with the baseline. Tryna beat up first and the last one. More than good, and I know why. First time I'm feeling seen. Reason, chaos, everything that's in between. When I feel way up, and you still know what I mean. Downward spiral, but your voice like dopamine. Yeah, I feel so seen by you. Take me for all of my sides. Lately, it's just us against the world. Don't have to look sure. Season, chaos, everything that's in between. First time I'm
Back for another video, June 26th.
Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Let's jump into the video. So, James Gunn fans, I got some bad news for you. You said, where's the proof that Man of Steel outgrossed James Gunn weak, whack, garbage ass Superman? Well, here's the proof right here, you clown. And John Scampia is still in denial. He's still trying to chill for the company. In this clip right here, the live stream he just did, everybody's been asking him this question, and he's ducking, dodging the question, saying, well, we got to go by what Box Office Mojo said. And then, in the same breath, he says, well, Box Office Mojo didn't update the...
Back. Today we're talking about the new Superman movie from James Gunn. I had the opportunity to go see it this week, and I wanted to talk about it. But I don't want to do this alone. We are bringing in a special guest. We are hearing from Ranting for Vengeance. If you guys don't remember who this is the guy who absolutely lost it, talking about the Absolute Batman comic, where he's talking about Black Barbara schooling Jim Gordon. I had to bring this guy back on. He has this absolutely epic rant that I want to show you. And then I kind of want to talk about this movie and show you some of the comments on this guy's video. Without further ado, let's hear from our friend Ranting for Vengeance.
The worst fucking movie that's ever been made. I stay true to what I said. While it's closed, I'm not giving money to James Gunn, the Free, or DC. But I did watch Superman fully somehow, and I don't know how they did it. But James Gunn has managed to make the worst superhero movie ever made. Before we go any further, just be warned that this is not hyperbole. This is not rage bait. This movie is disgrace to filmmaking. And if you saw the movie and you agree and you want to help out this channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon. So there's been a lot of reviews from everybody all across the internet, and I'm going to be honest, a lot of these people are just lying because they don't want to destroy the movie. People are saying it isn't woke and it isn't even that bad. Some people are saying it's a 10 out of 10 that's better than Iron Man, Avengers Endgame. And I'm here to tell you that everybody on all sides of this are lying. Once again, it isn't rage bait. It's
not
not
rage
this
bait,
movie. Try to make out the structure. Who greenlit this script? Is there a beginning, a middle, or even an end? Or are we just dropped into the worst movie ever created by man? That's exactly what it is. Because from all the trailers, I thought that this movie was going to be terrible, but still a fun time. And there was one fun part that could be excused, which was Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner, which I actually found kind of funny. But other than like 5 seconds of footage where Superman and Lois were acting like they were in an actual Superman movie, this was a piece of crap. And I can't really stress it enough. There's pieces of crap, and then there's this movie. It's really easy for a movie to be bad. Superman, on the other hand, is like the Flash. How's it? I can't really put it into words if you haven't watched this movie. There's no structure. There's no writing. There's no acting. The CGI is terrible. There's so much comedy, it'll make you want to pluck your own eyes out. Every time Superman even comes close to doing anything that's anyway good, he just gets knocked over by a dog.
I'm Noah, just a simple man who listens.
Lex Luthor is a stupid analogy for Donald Trump and racism. There's lesbian girl bosses running around. There's an emphasis on Gen Z and TikTok for some reason. Superman is whining for the entire movie. His voice is so high-pitched, and the dude lesbian girl bosses running around. Lex Luthor is a stupid analogy for Donald Trump and racism. There's lesbian girl bosses running around. There's an emphasis on Gen Z and TikTok for some reason. Superman is whining for the entire movie. His voice is so high-pitched, and the dude never stops screaming and being autistic. I don't know how I can say it anymore. This movie is the most retarded thing to ever exist. Genuinely. I've watched a lot of movies from many different countries, time periods. I'm not bragging here. I'm just saying. Now, I know that Superman is probably in the top 3 worst of all of them. Forget every crappy B movie ever made. Forget, like, I don't know, Plan 9 from Outer Space being the worst movie ever made. This is it right here. You thought Marvel humor was bad. Well, they have so much of it that you want to die. It literally has some of the worst CGI in a new movie. And I'm not alone on this. Just look at the reviews. So people will jump to Rotten Tomatoes right here and try to prove me wrong, saying that, what are you saying, little bro? The movie is a success. 95 on the audience score. Everybody loves it. I looked through that audience score. It was a big load of bots that loved Crypto, the little cute dog, which is one of the most retarded parts about the entire movie. I come up with a real source, like Empire Magazine, and they have it rated 2 out of 5 stars, saying exactly what I'm saying. The movie is so messy and garbage. The end of the movie is just a CGI mess. The Guardian, 2 out of 5 stars. I don't really know what people are seeing here, but it's getting destroyed. Another news source says it's painfully mediocre. Another news source rated 2.5 stars out of 5. I don't know what I'm missing here. The movie isn't some 10 out of 10. Everybody knows it's sophisticated. You just don't want to hear it. Now, I love to go in depth and show everything on screen, but I just need to tell you, for the people who haven't watched this movie, how ridiculously bad this is. For the first hour of the movie, Superman is on the ground screaming and whining. That's not a joke. It's not rage. He literally doesn't get up off the ground for a full 60 minutes. He's in some pocket wormhole universe, and in that universe, Lex Luthor, who is terrible and gay, by the way, for some reason, he just shows up and shows Superman that everybody online trying to cancel Superman, typing angry comments, aren't actually real. They're a big load of monkeys typing at a keyboard. No, that's not a joke. I didn't make that up. James Gunn is saying that everybody hating and review bombing Superman are monkeys. So let me just do the math real quick. He's not only calling me and everybody who doesn't like the movie a monkey. If you're an Indian kid or if you're a black person who says something on Twitter against James Gunn, he thinks you're a monkey.
All right, wow, this poor dude. My gosh, I mean, you guys think I'm negative? You guys think I'm toxic? Holy crap, dude. I mean, these comments, 1,500 comments of people that are pretty much in complete agreement with him. Guys, I watched the movie. I saw it on Thursday this week. I thought it was excellent. Like, this movie felt like a comic book movie. It felt like I was reading a comic book. Characters were being pulled in. Guy Gardner, Metamorpho specifically, that some Superman stories. I'm about to start reading this, Superman for All Seasons, and I just finished.
The funny thing is, I see both sides. Great thing about my autism, I see both sides now. I can. So that's cool. Alright, let's finish up with 1, 2. We got 4 here.
Hello, contestant. Welcome to my new game show. Pay up or death. Introduce yourself to the camera.
All right, so I want to show you guys the price of admission for being a grifter in the outrage space in 2025. And that is being wrong about just about everything and then having to eat crow every single time it happens. Now, I'm going to give Yellow Flash the tiniest bit of credit, but I'm going to explain why it doesn't matter in a few moments. I'm going to give him the tiniest bit of credit for admitting that he liked the movie, in spite of taking nothing but negative content out. I'm kind of shocked, but again, I said this before, these guys, there's a reason why I can't give them like full credit for changing their mind. There's more to it than that. There's nuance.
Yeah, yellow flash can flip.
These guys, there's a reason, in spite of making nothing but negative content out. I'm kind of shocked, but again, I said this before, these guys, there's a reason why I can't give them like full credit for changing their mind. There's more to it than that. There's nuance to it. But here's Yellow Flash's statement about the Superman movie, James Gunn's Superman. Superman was great, nothing woke, and the immigration thing is BS. It's a fun comic book movie and unapologetic. It's almost like the fact that Superman is an immigrant has always been a part of the story. So having it in the movie as part of the story, it just works because that is the story of Superman. It's almost like...
I think it's because of spoilers. It's because he turned out to be a colonizer. They like it because he's a colonizer.
It's like we all said that. And all of the outrage around that was just dumb nonsense. It was all just outrage barking. At the end of the day, that is the core of who Superman is. So putting that in any Superman movie is never going to feel out of place because it's part of the story. Shocker, surprise. And then he blames James Gunn. He goes, next time, don't get in your own way and say so much dumb shit, James Gunn. He said that Superman is an immigrant and that was going to be a part of the story of the movie. But you didn't feel like it was overtly in your face because, again, that's just Superman. Well, look, let's take a look at what Yellow Flash has done on YouTube, before the movie came out. This is just a few snippets of stuff he's done in the last few days. He just won't stop. Fuck you. Superman director slams Red State fans. James Gunn says if you have with it too long. This is bad. Shit, Red Arrow going down. They love that Red Arrow. James Gunn's Superman review leaks are awful. Movie hit with boycott from salty India fans. Now here's a video where he basically says he was wrong. He was wrong. And he blames the marketing where they say Superman is an immigrant. But if people don't like that, they can screw off. He doesn't like that part. Nick MAGA Pride. Gay reporter bakes Superman cast at Damage Control box office. James Gunn done? That's not all of them. There's a bunch more. Here. And this is kind of part of the course of these guys. I want to reiterate, they don't know what they're talking about. Ever. Now, let's talk about why I can't give Yellow Flash more credit for this. That's because these guys start the fire. They're the ones that start the fire. It's their community that does this. This isn't some organic thing that just happens out of nowhere. These guys circulate and propagate all of this stuff. Let me give you guys an analogy here. Imagine that you live in a neighborhood, and in this neighborhood there's a house at the top of the neighborhood full of a bunch of people, and Yellow Flash shows up and starts telling you, hey, the guys in that house, they hate you. They hate you so much. They're bad for the world. They're doing nothing but bad things. They're full of degenerates. They're full of all the worst people you could possibly imagine. And I think that we should burn the house to the ground. He says all of this. He does it over and over and over again. He comes in the neighborhood every day, 4 or 5 times a day, and says this over and over again that we should go and burn down this house because it's full of the worst people possible. And I know what I'm talking about. I have inside information. I'm the expert. You have to listen to me. I know that you don't know for sure, but I'm telling you this house is awful. And all of a sudden, everybody starts going up and throwing matches and gasoline on the house. And they just keep burning and burning and burning it. And Yellow Flash is like, I'm going to go see what's inside the house for myself. He goes up there, goes through the fire, gets inside the house, and finds out, wait, I was wrong.
First, we offer overnight boarding. Your pet will stay overnight in your sitter's home, and not only do you treat...
I was wrong. The house isn't full of all this awful shit that I said. Fuck, I was wrong. The house is actually full of some nice people that aren't everything that I made them out to be. So he comes out of the burning house and he's like, hey guys, sorry, Yellow Flash here. I actually like the people in the house, and could you please stop burning it down? I know that I told you to do it. I know that I told you to do this because it's full of the worst things possible. But yeah, I like it, so please stop doing that. Could you stop throwing matches over there? No more matches. No more. We're good. We're good over here. So this is why I can't give him credit for changing his mind about this, because he started it. The people in his community started this, and they've been talking about it for months and months and months, for years in a lot of cases. There's some stuff they've been talking about for years, for years. So no, I cannot give him any credit for that, because it is all his fault. Now you might say, well, he's doing all of this, and it's not...
It's like Elon.
Going to affect anything. He's done this before, and his fans are fine with this. I'm going to show you that they're not. He posted on Twitter, man, some people are mad at me over Superman. Look, I'm not going to lie about it. If you don't like it, that's fine. Here he is trying to do some damage control. You don't even have to watch it. I'm just being honest about how I feel. By the way, I haven't given the movie a score yet, which I would put either a 6.5 out of 10. So this is him doing damage control because he realizes that his base, the people that have been lighting the house on fire, don't want to stop burning the house. Shocker. They don't want to stop burning the house because you have created a community of people who live on outrage and hate. They don't want to hear you say that a movie is good. They don't want to hear you say that you like a movie. That is against everything that you have trained them to be. This goes against all of your previous thoughts and opinions on any of this stuff. You're trying to convince the people in your audience. Maybe you misunderstand. I don't know. You're trying to convince the people in your audience that James Gunn, someone that you have gone after for years, 4 years, that somehow this movie now is really good and they should go and support it. So the issue with this is your fans are going to reject this. The vast majority of them are going to reject this because they're going to go on what you have taught them prior to this. So they're going to reject this, and you're going to find out that the money is not there. And you're going, wait a minute, so the outrage stuff isn't bringing much money anymore for me. Now I talk positively about stuff, that's not going to be bringing much money for me anymore. What am I going to do? Everyone, this is a good example of why this outrage thing is dying out. This is a great example. We're going to have to watch what happens here, what the switch up is. This is a great example of someone, for once, going in and enjoying something, and then trying to tell their fans, who they've taught to hate everything, that they shouldn't be so hateful towards them. They should give it a chance. Am I surprised? No, not at all. Yellow Flash is a piece of shit, and his entire audience is a bunch of pieces of shit. So they're all in fighting about whether or not they should like a Superman movie. And then in some of his comments, he's like, yeah, it's a movie made for kids, it's a family film, crypto's amazing. Like, this is the kind of stuff this is why it is so dangerous. So dangerous to cultivate outrage prior to something coming out, instead of waiting until it comes out, and then going in on it. If you want to report on a story, like if a story comes out, and there's a legitimate thing to talk about, I've never had an issue with that. I've never had an issue with that. But you pick a side of that and run so hard with it, along with all of the misinformation and disinformation they do, it creates nightmare fuel. It creates people that want to burn the house down. And once they start doing that, once the fire starts, they don't want to stop the fire.
Yeah.
So Yellow Flash, you and everyone in your space is absolutely responsible for the pushback you're getting on your thoughts on Superman. This is your fault. This is your fire. Don't get mad now because no one wants to put the fire out that you started.
Hello.